What's up, YouTube? Trey here from Topic Tech, and we're going to be talking about how do you get an iPhone 5S. As you know, Apple released their new iPhone 5S and their iPhone 5C yesterday. A lot of people have been hitting me up trying to figure out how do they get their hands on an iPhone 5S. Well, and these people are also the people who have the iPhone 5. So, yeah, you got an iPhone 5 within the last year, and now you want the newest, latest, and greatest one. Happens to us all, doesn't it? Well, I came up with a couple of options for you, especially with those. We're going to talk about the big three. That's Sprint, AT&T, and Verizon. Just to make it easy for you, T-Mobile has a few options as well too. If you want to click down the links below, and there's also other carriers that you can also offer this as well too. But we're going to focus on the top three. So option number one is selling your old iPhone. So obviously the iPhone has a really great resale value. You probably paid $200 for it, and you can probably sell it online for anywhere from $300 to $400 right now, which is a really good value, a really good price. But you also have to play into mind that you are going to have to buy another iPhone outright because you are still under contract with either AT&T, Verizon, or Sprint. You're going to have to buy another contract outright, which the full retail value of the 16 gigabyte is $699. So pretty big bullet to bite. But if you have to have that latest and greatest, that is one of your options. So with $400 at the best value that you can get for it online right now, minus $700 equals about $300 is what you're paying up front, which isn't too bad. It's $100 more than everybody else that does have an upgrade available. So you can still consider yourself in the loop. Now, the other option within that same option is you could trade in the value, because I know about selling phones online and how crappy it is if you don't trust that person sending you the money, if it's an actual person or if it's a bot or something like that. And it's just a scary experience altogether, especially if you're trying to meet somebody. If you do it on Craigslist, you just don't want to do that. So you could trade in your phone. A lot of places now have trade-in values that you can walk into the actual retail location, trade your phone in, put that money towards the new phone, and walk out happy. Option number two, and this one may be the best option for most of you because it will be the least amount of cost up front, but overall you are paying a lot more than anybody else. So your option for number two is to add a line to your account. Now, if you're in a family plan, this is easier for you to do because you're not really changing your plan totally too much. And it would add only up to about $40 more per month. So if you do the math, $40 times 24 months is $960. Again, if you have to have the new latest and greatest, this is an option for you. Now, you don't have to let that line go to waste. You can give it to a friend that maybe has a crappy phone, maybe give it to a neighbor or even a boyfriend or girlfriend. Give them your old device and you get the new one. Everybody's happy as long as they pay their portion of the bill, or if you fork up that extra $40 a month, you would be totally fine doing that if that's okay with you. Now, I know what you're thinking. Trey, $40 a month, that's a bill. Yeah, it is. Also, if you think about it, how much do you spend going to Starbucks every day? $2, $3 a day? Maybe 5 times a week? There's your $40 a month. So that's whether or not you want the iPhone 5S that badly, or if you can wait until your upgrade is available so you don't have to spend that extra money towards the iPhone 5S. Option number three, another very popular one, and some people are okay with doing this. You can switch carriers. So it's not against the law to leave your actual carrier. There are cancellation fees that actually outweigh the price of all the other options that I've given you so far. So you can pay up to $350 to cancel out with the current carrier that you're with. And it's pretty simple to do as well too. All you have to do is go to another carrier, say you're with Verizon and you want to switch to AT&T. Their plans currently are about the same in price per month, and same with Sprint. They just have different options for their data packages, but everything's unlimited minutes, unlimited texting. Nowadays, you don't really pay for those types of things. You just pick your data limits, and then switching over to that is going to be one of your main options. Now, say you go from Verizon to AT&T. You go to AT&T, you say you want to switch from Verizon. They'll do all the hard work for you. The main thing you'll need is your account number, your phone number, and then they'll transfer it over to their carrier. And then your next bill with with your previous carrier is going to be where you have your last month payment and your cancellation fee. Generally, this is if you're with the company for a year, you cut it in half. It's really honestly just kind of how long you've been with them, what a number of devices that you have with them, and it can fluctuate. So it's best to call the carrier first that you're currently with to find out what your cancellation fee is, and then switching over to the new carrier. It's just simple as walking into there, tell them your phone number, your account number to the new for your old carrier, and you're good to go. Paying that cancellation fee is very important as well too, because it does based on your credit. And if you ever do decide to go back to that carrier, the next iPhone, you're not going to be able to actually switch back to them if you do decide to switch back if you never paid that last payment. Now, the other thing is these new AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile plans where you can upgrade whenever you want. Well, look more into detail of those. I have links down below that explains it much more in detail to decide if you want to switch over to that carrier and switch over to that new plan because you're wanting this new device. Again, it's going to cost you more money, but if you have to have the latest and greatest, reason why you're watching this video, this is one option for you as well too. These aren't really options for everybody, but if you do have AT&T, AT&T does have an early upgrade program, and you can actually easily check and see if you're eligible for an early upgrade, and this will definitely make it a lot easier for you. It's one thing that I'm going to do. If you're with AT&T, if you've been with them longer than a year, generally it's around a year, you're eligible for an early upgrade. And it's only generally for iPhones. So if you have an iPhone 5 or an iPhone 4S, you could trade your iPhone 4S or iPhone 5 in, get around $300 for the iPhone 5, $200 for the iPhone 4S, and that varies by demand and where location that you're looking at. And then you could actually put that towards your purchase of the new iPhone 5S. So let's take a look at it. So with an early upgrade, it's generally $200 to $250 more, depending on your carrier and your plan and stuff like that. So let's say it's $200 more than what you're paying originally with a regular upgrade. So $200 plus $200, $400 minus your trade-in value, or if you are gutsy enough to try to sell it on your own, you could get $400 for it, but I would play it safe and do the $300 trade-in value. You can do that at like a Best Buy or any location like that. You can get $300 for your iPhone 5 or around $200 for your iPhone 4S. Again, prices fluctuate. And put that towards your iPhone 5S. You pay $100 or nothing. How awesome is that? So obviously, AT&T is the carrier to go with this easier program to kind of upgrade early. And then hopefully Verizon and Sprint have something similar to it. Well, speaking of Sprint does have a buyout program, but it's a lot more complicated than I can actually explain to you. And it's really best that you call your carrier, ask about the buyout program, see if you're eligible for it. And it's similar to the early upgrade program, but it's best to just call Sprint and see what they can do for you. So let's summarize. Option 1, it's going to cost you $300 to $400 up front if you were to sell yours and buy a new one outright. It's a lot of money. It's one of the biggest options I have for you, but it's probably the easiest solution without any contracts or early this, early that, things like that. It makes it easy for you. Option 2 could cost you only $200 if you can find somebody else that needs another line and they pay their portion of the bill. If not, it's going to cost you $960 over the course of 2 years or $40 a month, generally depending on the carrier that you're on. And if you're on a family plan already, if not, it could cost you a lot more, and this option should not be something that you should look into. And option 3 would be to pay the cancellation fee for your current carrier, switch over to a new one, and also make sure it has good coverage in that area as well too. Switch over to the new one. Everybody's happy. You paid your dues. You have the new iPhone 5S. You're cool. That's all I got. Again, thanks for watching, guys. If you do have any questions, please hit me up. I am open 24/7. But of course, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment box down below. But as always, thank you for watching. Please do subscribe, and I will see you next time.